What's going on, guys? T-Mart here, and in this video we're going to be talking about some tips for some of the kill streaks in Black Ops 2. So I know a lot of you guys got the game either late last night or early this morning, or you might even be waiting until you get it later this afternoon or on Monday from Amazon, which sucks. I'm sorry for you guys who pre-ordered through Amazon and got delayed, but anyway, you're going to start getting to the point where you're going to be unlocking kill streaks and customizing them and things, and there's a couple of weird kill streaks. So I wanted to make sure that I brought them up to you guys, gave you guys the tips and the things that you should know about them, so that way when you earn them you don't waste them and you don't have to go through them quite a few times before you figure out how they actually work. So let's get into it. Now, the first one here that I've got for you guys that I wanted to cover is the Hunter Killer Drone. It's a new kill streak in Black Ops 2. It's like this little paper airplane that you throw, it goes up in the air and it comes down and it kills people, and it's almost a guaranteed kill every single time. Sometimes you'll get 2 or 3 kills with it. Now, one thing you don't want to do that I see a lot of people doing is throw it directly at enemies. That does not work. As you can see right here, I threw it directly at this guy and it went by him. You need to give this thing time to kind of set itself up and aim itself before it's going to get you kills. So the proper way to use this thing is just throw it straight up in the air. Look up in the air, throw it through a skylight, throw it straight into the sky if you're outside, do whatever you need to do, throw it through a window, and just throw it straight up in the air. You don't have to throw it towards enemies, you don't have to throw it towards anything. It'll go up in the air on its own, it'll fly around, it'll go down, and it'll kill somebody. Super, super easy. Just throw it up in the air. Now, one other thing you should know about this thing is it can take out low enemy kill streaks, like UAVs, counter UAVs, things like that. As you're going to see in this clip right here, I threw it up in the air towards that UAV that was up in the sky, and it blew it up. So I got the points for UAV destruction or whatever it is. So this thing will take out enemy air support if you want it to. Just kind of aim it towards that air support, and that should make it take it out. Now, moving on, the second kill streak that I want to talk about with you guys is the Hellstorm missile. This thing is like the Predator missile from Modern Warfare 3 or Modern Warfare 2 or everything else, but it's a little bit different. So there's 2 ways you can use it. The first way right here is the one that's a little bit less effective. What you can do is press LT to boost the missile and boost it all the way down to the ground where it'll blow up and it'll kill an enemy. That's exactly like the Predator missile was back in the previous games. Now, the correct way to use this thing is to split the missile into a ton of tiny different missiles that track down the enemies via like infrared or something like that. That sounds a lot cooler, right? Right. So what you do is when you call this thing in, you see that big circle in the middle of your screen. Put enemies in the middle of that circle, and it'll lock onto them, and it'll put tiny circles over the enemies, and once you have as many enemies as possible lit up in that circle, press the right trigger. It'll split up into a bunch of tiny different missiles that will track enemies and follow them and bend around and take them out. So that's the most effective way to use it. That's how you're going to get the most kills. Most people don't know you're supposed to do that. Now, moving on, the third kill streak that I want to give you guys tips on is the Death Machine, and it's pretty much the same as it was back in Black Ops 1, but it's got some upgrades. So number 1, you can sprint with it. Number 2, you can put it away and take out your primary weapon and then bring it back out again. You don't lose it if you switch to your primary weapon. Number 3, you can die with it and you can spawn again and pull it back out. You won't lose it there either. And the last thing here is just that the only way you lose the Death Machine is to physically run out of ammo. If you burn all your bullets, that's when it goes away. And the War Machine works the same way. That's the grenade launcher kill streak. Now, moving on, the fourth kill streak that I want to give you guys tips on is the AGR. Now, this one, kind of the obvious tip, is when you call it in, you can either choose to control it or to not control it. When you first call it in, it's going to be AI controlled. You can hold X or square, and you can control it. You can ride around in this robot. It's pretty cool. It works the same way as a sentry gun. Now, the second tip is not quite as obvious. When you call the AGR in, it's not like a care package. When you throw down that little smoke marker, the box comes down, the AGR opens up, and it's already ready. It's not like you have to run up to the box, hold X to capture it, and then call it in. It's not like any of those. It's already ready. It's ready to go as soon as it hits the ground. So because of this, you don't want to call this thing in like a care package. A lot of times when you get a care package, you run back to your spawn, you throw it down, you protect yourself, make sure no enemies are there to steal it from you, and then you capture it. With the AGR, what you want to do is throw that marker into the enemy team spawn, which is a weird idea, but it's a lot better because that thing's going to come down and it's going to go ham. So whenever you get the AGR, make sure you call it into the enemy team spawn rather than your own, and you're going to get more use out of it. Now, finally, the last thing I want to point out to you guys is with the VTOL warship. I know a lot of people, when they get this thing, they're going to be so excited, they're not going to be reading the bottom left corner of the screen. If you look down the bottom left corner, you can press LB to make the warship move. So in the situation that the enemy team flips and you can't really see them, there's buildings in your way or anything like that, then press that LB button and it'll make the warship move and it'll move closer to the enemies to where you can take them out. So there you have it, guys. Those are the 5 kill streaks that I've got tips for you guys on. Hopefully you earn them and hopefully you can do well with them. And thank you guys so much for watching. So check out one of the other 2 videos on screen if you haven't seen them yet. I've had a bunch of great Black Ops 2 videos going up, so make sure you've watched all of them. And I've got a bunch of great videos coming soon. So thank you all so much. I'll catch you all later. Peace.